necessarily all playing together. But I love that we get that little bit of a revamp of the previous Undone team, which kind of has, like Modem and Chop, and then kind of working around that to build this new foundation of Marsborne. So I think this veto actually is unique just because of Marsborne looking to prove that they have to get a win on the board, but they've been so damn close. All right, we're about to find out. Marsborne going to be in the CT side. Nouns on the old T side there, Paladon.
And we don't even have Grizz in the server today, Laz. Yeah, I was thinking that we were, but it looks like due to ECL constraints or potential conflicts, Steel, Joshua Nissan will be here to see if they can defend the honor of Marsborne here on Ancient. T-side start here for Cryptic and the gang as they get cave control very early on. Retake setup here for Marsborne as that kit will be in the back lanes alongside that smoke for the IGL.
Yeah, this is going to raise a lot, even more questions with this roster adjustment, right? I mean, this is pretty surprising to see, but not a bad thing, all things considered. Bomb's going to go down. And now we see Wolfie able to get the first engagement, but now it's a question about what they want to do here. Now, being down the man, they're going to have to put some pressure onto this. They have to be able to find some way to engage these fights. Everybody is just behind this. Now this is just going to be a full-on gunfight. And a little bit of back and forth we go, but now these CT pistols, they're starting to cook, but look at Rush. He's able to come through the back lines with the Glock. Almost able to find this third. He might have single-handedly been able to find this, but look, he gives his backup. How is he still alive? He is just playing duck, duck, goose. Monum can't land a shot. This is just unreal. Now a fake defuse to come through. Rush able to finish the damn job.
And this is the greatest part about Rush, right? Is as a vet, he's seen so much stuff in his career. He understands how to play these clutches, and in the previous iteration, that's what he was known for. Just finding ways to dig Nouns out of some sticky situations. And, I'm not seeing as much of that clutching ability for Rush on this iteration, but that's him kind of turning back the clock and showing what he's made of from that old team. And, you consider players on the potential chopping block motivation issues, especially considering Rush missed out on that last major, and you call into question him specifically. What can he provide as a player at this level? Does he still have it in him to run all the way back to that major in Austin?
Ooh, getting a little closer, Steel. Okay, just misses the toesies. Such an interesting round for this one too. I actually love this double player into push into cave, and oh man, even Cryptic. Look at that. Wasn't it sneaky beaky able to get that first engagement, taking down Steel? I mean, with the Mag 7, I was thinking that could have been a decent position with a gun like that. But man, you missed that first shot. It kind of feels like you're just done for.
Yeah, and I mean, he hit the shot as well. But for 98, that's the brutal aspect of it. And even at that range, you're thinking that's guaranteed kill. But Nouns will play out this 5v4 against the force buy for Marsborne, mind you. Full mid control successfully gained by Modem, but won't be taking that instant dink from Junior. So clean on that SMG. And that means the path to the B bomb side is open. This MP9 from Modem and Minus Deeg has got to head for the hills, honestly, at this point. And that they will. Minus does get out safely. MOTM as well. Scratch that on Minus. He'll go down to the flying max 10, but still, Nouns show that they can tussle with these SMGs. And I think the main thing, right, is when they're in the server like this, and again, as I mentioned before, I talk about the Rifle Corps, I talk about the strength of these 5 players together against Marsborne's Rifle Corps, especially now that they don't have Grizz. You got to kind of command your authority on the map and kind of exert that dominance by taking engagements as early as possible and really forcing Marsborne to kind of bend the knee and give respect and give space.
Yeah, I kind of just felt like Nouns just, able to kind of clean up that round really, really nicely. And again, there was a lot of things that were thrown at them, and they were able to respond back really, really well, like you said. So a bit of a tough one for Marsborne. I did like the attempt for, you know, them trying to get everything a little bit back to see if they can find the second, just not working out for them. At least Monum able to kind of save the MP9. I mean, it's something to work with, I guess, right? But, I mean, he's kind of the guy that, again, might have to be a, I don't even know if you want to call it a playmaker, but, I mean, he's got to have to do something a little bit more. But, look, Nouns already looking, like you said, really polished on this. I kind of wonder a little bit here, too, like, just my speculation brain is like, look, Steele in the team is great, but does that kind of maybe throw a little bit of a loop just in terms of like IGL ability or maybe some counter calling or maybe kind of like, I don't want to say butting heads, but maybe having two minds of the game in the same team maybe could be a little bit of a problem.
I honestly think it's a benefit, to be honest with you. I think that Wolfie at this point, you know, he's never been a caller in his career. He's having an opportunity now to grow into that role, considering Steele had to kind of head for the hills. He's now a full-time analyst. And that's a fantastic career path for him, but that does leave Wolfie a bit stranded, right? He's got to now fend for his own with the new team and kind of figure out this role. And having Steele occasionally sub in for games here and there, I think is only just going to benefit him and make him feel a little bit more confident in his calling abilities. And I think he's really come into it. I thought he's really had some flawless calls against some top teams. He's pushed Sin to the limit when they've played against M80. And I think it's just a matter of time before he truly can kind of be considered one of the better IGLs in North America. But it's going to take some time. We need a little bit of guidance. And this is why I'm just so happy that Steele is back in the Counter-Strike conversation, because it's going to allow for the evolving of players like Wolfie.
Yeah, it's a really good point you bring up, and I actually, I don't even think I disagree at all. I feel like I never really disagree with you, pal. Let's be real, but look,
of course not, Laz. You're Canadian. You can't disagree with me.
I gotta be more polite, you know. Wouldn't be in my nature, you know. Like what's that all about? I'm just kidding. I say about. Don't worry, everyone. All right, look, I'm getting excited for this one. I mean, you get the big green out, Junior. I feel like Junior's been really having some really good performances lately. I wouldn't say like just monstrous, but I think we've been seeing a little bit more consistency out of him, which is always a good thing to see. He's always been kind of that question mark a little bit at times, where like he kind of would fade away sometimes, but then he could pop off at, you know, some given moments. But I feel like that consistency factor is getting better from my perspective. But we'll see if he can keep going with it. But at least Marsborne able to get the first engagement to start things off, but you can already see Nouns, they're looking like just for the old A exec, not even going to go for the CT smoke. They're just going to go in a bit dry on this. This is a little bit of a chaotic scenario, because look at this now. Everybody's starting to drop and hit the floor. All of a sudden, Nouns, they're down to one lonely player of Cryptic, and he's on the 1v2, and the bomb, it's definitely not in the most advantageous position.
Yes, a winnable clutch, though, for Cryptic. He's got to suss out his counter IGL already dug into A main, and if he doesn't clear this carefully, this can get dangerous, but he clears it very, very cleanly. Minus now thrust into a 1v1, bomb at his feet. He's got some stall utility as well with 45 seconds left, but he's going to back away all the way into the CT spawn. And Cryptic on the other end just has no idea where Minus could have gone off to. He could have wrapped back in the middle to try and surprise Cryptic. He could have fallen all the way back to spawn. He could be hiding in temple. He could be boosted up in tree. There's so many different possibilities here that Cryptic has got to kind of figure out in his head. And with 20 seconds left on the clock, he's not going to be able to clear out the A side proper. And that's the worrying sign here. He's still got an incendiary. Surely a barrel must have been spotted there from Minus. He's lined up from Brokey, and he'll find himself the first round for Marsborne. It took a little bit to get there, but the X Factor gets it over the line.
Yeah, I really, really love that positioning change, you know, that happens here for Marsborne. That was huge because, again, just able to back off, able to, you know, just isolate a little bit, you know, the angles, just eliminating so many different areas that have to be cleared. It makes it, like you said, so much harder for Nouns to go on that clutch for Cryptic. Again, right down to the wire. It's a bit of a 50-50 coin toss, but nonetheless, Minus does a great job. Brings them their first round into this. Not the most convincing round, but obviously it's going to work, though. It's going to be something. Big Green going to be here for Wolfie. And that's, again, you know, for me, Paladin, I don't know if you'll agree, but, I mean, I feel like Wolfie, to me, has always been that guy as well, where we've been always wanting to see him have these big moments with the op. Junior somehow gets a spam, and oh my god, even Wolfie's able to get a nice little bit of a tag on a peeping.
That's the lane to long kill, and now Junior's just walked all the way up elbow as well to find another steal. Not aware of that possibility, because why would you? It's a minute 15 on the clock and you're already at the base of B. They're going to continue on this aggression. Cryptic has now gotten a cave, and they're playing behind the smoke, but they're just going to flash through. They want to come through this and try to trade it out. It's only MOTM in the back lanes. Cryptic will walk all the way into the site proper. You'll realize that this site is completely clear. And Nouns all of a sudden off the back of just a crazy spam from Junior from lane and at a crazier entry. Nouns have just gotten themselves a fourth for free.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what we were kind of mentioning, right? We were saying, look, like Junior has been doing really well lately. It feels like he's kind of been finding a lot more impact in the server, not just with an op necessarily, but just overall in general. And this round is a good exhibit of that, right? So you see Marsborne, they're going to have to just kind of tuck tail. They're going to have to get out of this, keep these guns in the preserve. And I mean, it's all because of Junior, like you said, getting a double kill, able to get a quick spam. That is the most tilting way to go right away on the CT side. You're just like, yeah, I didn't even see anybody. And I got instantly just dead. But look, a little bit of damage getting inflicted here from the CT side. But now we're down by 3. And we're going to have to see what they want to do a little bit on this. They could call for the timeout, just, you know, maybe a different plan on this, fight for some map control possibly. Nouns have just been kind of taking this, you know, slow and steady. Really nothing too fancy, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, they are taking it slow in some aspects, but obviously that previous round there, just trying to burst through if they're seeing that opportunity.
Yeah.
And again, it's going to be tough for Seal to get acclimated in this scenario, especially when Cryptic wants to up the tempo in some certain situations like that where, yes, Junior finds a kill and he realizes that the B side is weakened. He's going to go after a player there. This time, Wolfie has been mollied out of middle, but this op is still trained in on the elbow side. Junior still takes care of business. The flash is good. Peeping trades as well. Everything going in Nouns' favor at this point. Sure, MOTM finds one kill to slow the pace of this Nouns train, but the kills for the T side are just ever flowing. And it leaves Chop alone in the 1v3. Does have an opportunity to recover a weapon and a head spotted. Kill found. And now he can pick up an AK as well, which means that this gets a little interesting for both Cryptic and Peeping. They've got to figure out where in the hell this anchor has gone off to. And they've got a minute to kind of formulate this plan.
Yeah, they definitely do. And I mean, the only thing right now for Chop is like he doesn't have that armor. So again, it's going to be really, really important that he can just kind of out-aim these guys even in this situation, just because it's going to be a lot more important. But Peeping down to 7, this is not a good scenario, but look at how fast Chop's here. He's already close encounters. He might be able to get this timing. And no, he's actually going to just hang on back. He doesn't go for it. He tries to play a little bit more patient on it. He's got the smoke, and he also has the HE. But it looks like he wants to go for the gunfight. He's going to try to investigate as much as possible. Cryptic holding a nice little bit of an off angle. Should be able to get it done, and indeed he does. A really tough, questionable scenario for Chop. I mean, there's so many different options you could have gone for, but unfortunately, it's going to be a full face of lead.
I think he made the right play there. I mean, at that point, you don't want to use your nade, you don't want to use your smoke because you don't want to give up that position. So why not take the raw duel, see if you can shave it down to the 1v1, especially considering the bomb was essentially planted for Donut there. But Cryptic very wise to that idea as his teammate was going searching in middle. And Nouns will continue the good looks here with the 5-1 start. Still no real wanting of this AWP. I mean, Wolfie is taking it off of a dead body, but he's not purchasing into it. For now, Nouns will continue to dominate lane pressure here, even if they've been giving up middle. Steel has been tasked with this it's a very important position as a CT. They've been giving him so much to deal with that, but it's not going to matter. It's the utility from Marsborne that does the trick. Finds that opening incision, but CJ's immediately there for the trade.
Yeah, some really good utility work, but again, it's even getting him a kill, and even, you know, CJ quite low to 28, but now, I mean, this is a moment where, again, it's back to the 4-4. Do we see Marsborne kind of going for a little bit of aggression, just trying to find at least that one kill to get themselves some kind of an advantage? You can see Nouns just kind of posted up. Junior just barely missing the shot against Steel, so he's going to get himself a second life on this one. And now the spam once again. Oh no! Oh, that poor man. He can't seem to buy himself any sort of a scenario where he stays alive. Everybody's just getting spammed away.
And again, Choppa's got to back away, and hope that his teammates can get here in time, and maybe he can clip one player's wings. But Nouns will scale in. They've put down the proper utility. The spam is decent, but peeping shots are better. And that'll be the save call straight away. Wolfie and Modem had such a fast, aggressive flank very quickly, but Russia spotted both players out. One of them falls. And again, the captain cannot get involved in this game. 6-1 for Nouns. And I mean, you can see the comfort that Nouns have on this map, especially on this T side. They know how to hit the go button when they do find an entry. If they find an equalizing play, they're going to attack the same bomb site again and again and again. And you see how easily they've been kind of ripping into that B bomb site, especially if they know that Steel's playing around that area. If they want to kind of target him a little bit more individually, they can, and they're succeeding right now.
Terrorists win.
Yeah, it kind of just feels like, Nouns are just kind of, picking and choosing what they want. They're just going to get it for free pretty much, right? I mean, I feel for Marsborne, I would like to see a timeout here sooner than later, because I feel like, again, things are getting out of hand. You're down by 5. Nothing's really looked that convincing. Okay, we finally get it. Thank goodness, because, look, they're going to have to figure out what to do a little bit differently. I feel like we've seen some decent utility work at times, but it seems like they're just getting out-dueled, and then they're opening up so many different gaps on their defense, right? But again, that's giving a lot of credit for Nouns. Like you said, there's so much comfortability for these guys. Like, they have 12 officials on this, as a core. They have, 8-4 record, pretty decent. And like we said, they've been able to have some good wins over some decent teams. But for Marsborne, it just feels like everything's grim. It just feels like there's no horseshoe. There's no seam of luck for these guys right now.
It doesn't help that I don't think that they're really fighting for a lane at all, because Steel is not up to date. And I'm not necessarily sure if that's just him being a little hesitant, or if he doesn't have the proper support, but they're trying so hard to fight for mid. And then, initially I actually did like the way he approached it, a little bit more aggressive, but now he's kind of being found out, and it's a real issue for Marsborne. This time they're going to try to duel a little bit ahead of this mid utility from Nouns, but they won't find an entry, which is the issue. They're going to turn their attention now back to this A site from main. Junior peeking into the angle, spots Modem, and does have to force out that Molotov and smoke combo.
Oh, and they've already burned through so much utility too. Yeah, I like that Modem had his, molly ready to go, but the smoke getting thrown onto it. So, like, they've already expended all their utility for the most part, right? I mean, we're at still over a minute left in this round, so just allowing Nouns to have way more freedom what they want to do for the execution than what they want to go for. And you can already see Wolfie's going to be able to spot these heads. He's the only guy, one of the guys with a rifle, and now his teammates are falling. He has to be able to do something big, and that's going to help. That's going to be the double kill, but he's going to get caught into the crosshairs of peeping. Now it's all down to Chop with a 5-7 in hand. He's got himself some decent positioning here, Paladin. But can he get the kill? He will not. He's going to get chopped up, and Nouns securing a 7th round.
Peeping has that late stage lurk from middle to make sure that Wolfie's double kill does not win Marsborne that 2nd round. And it's just the ferocity in which they're splitting into these bomb sites and kind of just running these individuals down the throats of Marsborne. They're not getting a chance to breathe in these kind of mid-round situations. If they see a player and they take him down, there will be another player right behind them to trade it out. Every position that Nouns are wanting to take, they're getting it. Finally, something goes Marsborne's way as MOTM. We will find that opening kill onto Peeping. And so that does finally slow the pace of these rounds down just so slightly. And with that 4v5, Nouns have got to figure out a way to dig back, and I think it might be this B bomb site, especially considering how aggressive Rush is straight away.
Yeah, his positioning's phenomenal already, but now we're starting to see a little bit of a juggernaut moment here. Individuals are starting to finally shine a little bit more here for Marsborne, giving themselves the 5-on-3 advantage, but still got Junior alive. Full utility available for Cryptic minus the smokes. Double mollies though, so this is going to be good. This might be able to catch some of the CTs off their positioning. You can see the molly just lands on the edge cave. Minus has to reposition. Bomb's going to get picked up now from Nouns. Oh, they look like they're going to go back. They're going to go towards this A site, possibly. They're not even entertaining this B hit. You already have, I think that's Junior. He's already pushed all the way half into Red Room. So he's got himself in a good position. He might be able to catch this player off guard. And oh, dear goodness, Chop. This guy has the worst luck in the world right now. He can't seem to find any sort of a scenario for him at all. The bomb now making its way through middle. Cryptic alive. Looking to see if he might be able to find something in the donut modem. Not giving up his position yet. I thought he might have been spotted on the edge of it. These guys are about to run right into each other. All of a sudden now the IGL lonesome, and he will be eradicated. And we finally see Marsborne picking up a round with only one casualty.
A little weird there from Nouns. They were kind of caught between multiple mines. I think they were considering an A split. They maybe had a feeler to potentially go out B. Eventually, you had two players kind of walking wounded into Donut one by one. And Marsborne had read all of that at that point. They had pushed down B. They had pushed down through Cave. They figured out that lane was clear. And they had a fast flank to deal with any kind of straggling T-sided players there. And defensively, that was just a well put together round for Marsborne, but this is one of the glaring issues that Nouns have had in terms of the clutch, in terms of trying to close out maps against top teams, and that is these late round scenarios. They're just not clutch enough. Of course, that might just be an outlier in this situation because they're just going to run through B and charge through two players straight away.
Oh, man. Yeah, Nouns are feeling it, man. They're just not even caring at all. They're like, you know what? Let's just go. Let's just hold W. Let's just take these sites. We're going to win it. We're going to outduel them. We're going to just run and gun, and look at that. Like, I mean, there was players caught off guard with utility in their hand, and oh, man, even Wolfie, he's a dead man. There's surely no way he's going to be able to stay alive. They're on the full hunt. Double swing and a miss here from Wolfie, and now Nouns are doing such a great job of pushing themselves in an 8-2 scoreline right now, Paladin. And the money, again, here from Marsborne, I mean, they're just pretty much trying everything they can. They're going to be able to get some guns, of course, but man, this just thing, it kind of feels like it's falling apart round by round here.
Tough situation truly for Marsborne at this point, but you know, what can you do if you're not able to win any duel? You're not having enough utility to stop this onslaught, and they're just running out through that mid-util. Minus does manage to eke out one, but Cryptic is always going to be there for the trade. Now, mid-control established. They're already trying to creep through this A main utility on that edge of the smoke. Rush has got himself a little bit of a sight line. MOTM has been tested throughout this map, and he stood tall in the donut, but can he stand tall once again? Complete freeze for Nouns as they take temple control. They want to see if they can find and surprise a CT before trying to get that bomb down. But even the CTs on the other end are trying to figure out information of their own regard. Wolfie and Chop set up in Red Room. But this might be where they come to their demise. Wolfie hits the deck, and Chop will be smoked out. But Chop going straight through that. He's going to go straight through that, and Rush will find his head. It's all up to MOTM, and he's just had players pass by him throughout that round and just can't do anything about it there, Laz. It's just such a brutal round to have, especially even with as well played as he's been playing throughout this map.
Yeah, and I love the calling here from Nouns too. Like the fact that they had that A site in full their control, right? We saw that Marsborne, they were putting so much attention in middle. Nobody was even paying attention at all. And they even, before they even get the bomb down, they're pushing through. So this is, again, just really good critical thinking. The IGLing of Nouns is just a whole other level. Smoke going to get thrown here for the bomb.
No
Maybe
kit.
steal. I mean, no kit. That's not going to make it a little bit easy, but maybe you can find a kill. Things could have turned around maybe,
Whoa.
but Junior, a little bit of BM. All right, Junior. All right, not bad at all. The last round of the first half, and again, like it just feels like Nouns picking and choosing whatever they want to do. They're going to get it for free. I'm not really impressed with Marsborne's like mid control. It seems like they're always just putting one player there. They're usually gone pretty much within the first 10 seconds of the round. It just felt like they got successful one time with a juggernaut play of Modem, but other than that, it's just been ice cold. Like nothing's been happening for these guys.
Yeah, I think it's fine if they don't want to fight for mid, but you know, you've got to have a plan B in that situation. You're not winning mid at all in the early round. They're going through your util. So why not just save it and kind of play further back? But that's not helping either because you're not taking B main control. You're not fighting for A main. You're not playing aggressively in Donut. You're playing very passively in that regard as well. So there's got to be a little bit of a push and pull in that CT department, and it's just not there. And obviously some of that just has to come down to they're not winning gunfights. This is where you would love to have Grizz. You know, that kind of can opener to give you more opening 5v4s and maybe even 5v3s because he's got that multi-kill capability. But instead, you've got Steel trying to deal with that plug-and-play in Cave, and he's just not able to stand up to that task. He doesn't have the feeling as to when he wants to push through that position and really try to put the hurt on Nouns, and that's just the nature of the beats. They got to figure out another win condition to make it work.
Yeah, Marsborne needs something in the win condition right now because it feels like it's looking very, very dark and not looking like a likely place right now for them at all. Nouns still not committing to this, but maybe. Again, CJ able to find himself that bit of an opener. Good palm flash thrown. CJ maybe will not be able to find it. So Marsborne able to find something back a little bit. Bomb's going to make its way through Cave though already. Look at Wolfie. Deep onto long here. Good aggression onto this. Finally taking down one of the veterans of Nouns, of Rush. Giving themselves the slightest advantage, maybe to engage on more fights. Leaving the last two. Junior able to put this op into work. Still with just under a minute remaining. They might even backtrack on this. The bomb looking like it might entertain some kind of a mid, maybe A play. Junior's hoping and praying for something of a pick. But so far, not going to happen. Cryptic. Is he going to expect somebody close on the left here? He has no more utility. This is all about the gunfight. Junior here to join him. A player to jump through. Looking for that instant trade. Will be... the sneakers, but oh god, he's gone. He's dead. And now it's a FAMAS able to do something else maybe. Junior's trying everything in his power with the big green to work, and yes, he will. And look at it, Minus just going, what the hell happened?
How did they disassemble a site like that? I couldn't tell you. Maybe Midas can put something up on the board as he finds Junior. It's all down to Cryptic in the 1v1. And there's still no kid. It's got to be a 10-second defuse. There's no way he's sticking that, and he will take the gunfight. Cryptic will come out on top. Double digits for Nouns as we head to the break.
All right, welcome back. We're going into the second half of the first best of one here in Ancient, where Nouns have just, I don't know, man, they've just like gorilla smashed themselves into this game and already putting themselves at double digits. And I don't know about you, Paladin, but I feel like, you know, things are looking a little bit swampy over here for Marsborne.
Yeah, you could say that again. Marsborne now have to do it on the harder side. And they're just going to send out an all-out Hail Mary to this A bomb site, which is completely open for the business. Keeping will try to get one before he falls, or at least stay alive. But look at Steel, man. He's back with a vengeance. Been just getting put through the ringer over on the B side of the map. He just completely cracks open this A side. CJ will try to fight back, but Steel has done a ton of work already, finding 3 kills in the round total, and Marsborne will find 3 in total as well.
Yeah, not bad at all. I mean, yeah, you were right. I mean, Steele's he's really had a bad going on this one, right? You're like subbing in, you're like, yeah, I feel good. I feel like I can play, and then it's just like, yeah, nothing works, and everybody's just getting killed, and game's just falling apart. But look, a good rebound here in the first pistol, or the second pistol, I should say. And I mean, now, I mean, look, I mean, for Nouns, I mean, they went for a stack, right? I mean, they went for a B stack on that. They kind of gambled it. I don't even mind that at all. So it was just more about the retake. Just wasn't really much that they could work with, just because of the aggression. But again, I love that Steel was putting a lot of pressure on that CT spawn. That was really important. I think that just allowed them to close everything, all the options. Good flash coming in for the CT side. They're trying to do a little bit of a cruncherino, but no. Going to get mopped up. They're going to get eaten alive, and there we go. Marsborne going to find themselves a 4th round here pretty quick and swiftly here, Paladin.
Definitely. And now, I mean, it's just a question of how much can you build back into this if you're Marsborne? How much can you show that caliber that we kind of touted for this team, even with the kind of concessions they've had to make as a roster? Can you still find a competitive scoreline with Steel in the lineup?
Yeah, it's Steel and a savior.
Yeah, I mean, if he has this kind of performance that he's had in the last couple, then by all means, it's not a hamstring of a substitution, but of course, he's got to keep that up.
He definitely does, and that's what we were kind of talking about. Like, and we were talking about player to watch was Grizz, and ironically, he was kind of the guy that's not here. So we're like, oh well, that's really unfortunate, because Grizz is definitely a playmaker on this team. So I mean, not to say Steel can't be. It's just they're 2 different players, but. Again, a lot of opportunity for Marsborne to see what they can do. Gun rounds coming into effect. Double FAMAS here for Nouns. Marsborne looking like they want to just go for the old deep ball. Going to get that late mid control. Bomb's not even going to make its way. They're not even committed to this. Bottom's going to take a huge amount of damage already. Down to 21. Steel is already below 50 as well. So Nouns have already doing a good amount of work here, tenderizing these guys. And they barely have seen each other. It's, again, that utility work once again.
But the great work here from Marsborne is, with all that damage, they've taken so much space. Front jag, all of lane, all of mid, and that means Minus can be that late lurk to find a quick double. Completely opening up this map here for Wolfie to call around. And they're going to end on this B bomb site, just charging up through lane, go right at Cryptic, and they're going to see what they can find. Smoke in through long side, smoke up on short, but players with you chill out means that Junior has a chance to fight, and he goes down through the smoke. CJ will also find a little bit more of a fight back, and so will Cryptic through the floorboards. And as the dust settles, it's still a 2v1 for Marsborne. Cryptic can reorient himself. He can find a way to make this round work. The bomb still not having gone down gives a little bit more leeway. It's a tap on the bomb, no less. Steel figures it out, lands a body shot, brings Cryptic down to 7 HP. And MOTM will finally punch in the digits. 28 HP on the server as MOTM backs away into cave and now wants to flank the flanker.
Oh, this is sick. This is so sick. And look at Cryptic's just been waiting the whole time. He's expecting him to go for a big old swing. But Motum, this is what we love about him. He was someone that was inactive for such a long time, waiting to get back into a roster. These are things that he might be able to bring. And look at Cryptic has no idea at all. He's just trying to clear things out. Oh, what? No, Bottom! Oh, God, why? He went for a shot too late. there might be enough time here. He's
good, he's
able
good.
to burn it, but good God. What a weird and not pretty way to make it happen. You know what? But arounds, they'll get it, but just barely.
Dude, that looked so weird. It's like he saw the body for so long and then shot after it turned the corner. Like, I have no idea why that looked like that, but hey, MOTM with more impact in this game so far. Truly the man of the match for Marsborne as far as relevancy goes, because they would not be in this map if it wasn't for him. And sometimes you need that veteran-facing player to bolster up those younger players, and he's definitely doing that right now. Another save for Nouns as this gap between the two teams continues to shrink. 5 the difference now.
Yeah, it was a 10-2. I mean, this is where Nouns it was looking like they could have, you know, speed run their way through this ancient game, but Marsborne being able to find that pistol and just getting these rounds back to back to back has just been a good way for them to make this thing closer and closer. But I mean, this is still a dangerous territory. I mean, you got triple players in A main right now with the 5-7s. I mean, again, the bomb's not going there, but I mean, this is still not a great position. And Monum looks at the wrong time. I mean, that might be a gun given up here. We'll have to see, because there's still some armor equipped on these guys, and now they're going to be able to try to go for it. Monum, perfect placement. I don't know how he gets away with it. I thought he would have been at least traded, but luckily for him, he was able to get himself some good control of the recoil. This round should be over and done with. Maybe a little bit of a casualty here and there, but who cares? It's fine. It's only one. It's going to be minus, but here we go. Another important round here, going into round 17, where do we see Junior do something a little bit more adventurous, I'll say, with the ult?
He definitely could. But at this point, I mean, they're not getting any bit of map control. It's like the roles have been completely reversed. And I think for Marsborne, it's looking even better, where they're getting up to Red Room at a minute 30. You're getting all the way through lane at a minute 30. It's got to be an all-out mid attempt here from Nouns, and they absolutely will. They'll send 2 players in. They'll have a 3rd player in terms of utility, but that's where Wolfie calls the switch up in the pace. They go at this A bomb site straight at Junior's AWP. He finds one. He finds a second as well to kind of just shave off these players one by one. Finally, Minus puts him to the ground. And as the dust settles, Minus has another opportunity. He could have spotted out ahead there, but he can't capitalize on it. Instead, he'll re-smoke. He'll recock his gun back, and finally he'll find his man. Lurk as well from MOTM, but Lurk's on Lurk. See Cryptic getting into the A main action as well. Finally, MOTM can activate with 1 into the 2v2 with a minute 5 on the clock. And they've got to slow the pace of the round down, Marsborne. They've got to figure out where these CTs have gone up to. The key question on their mind is, where is Rush?
Yeah, and he's made his presence known. A little bit of a peekaboo, gets down Minus, and now it's all down to Monum. He's already found himself 1 duel so far. A little bit of a late CT smoke. Oh, get your damn gun out. He's trying to throw so much utility just to push back Rush, but he's just going to get annihilated. But look, Nouns, once again, got to thank Junior. They're going to be able to retrieve that off. I love the fact that he went for that secondary fight. That was the one player just trying to push into the bomb site. He was able to take him out. I mean, him just trying to stay alive as long as possible was perfect, because it allowed the CTs to get the rotate through. Their positioning was so much better. Even that flank as well from Cryptic, that was important, right? I mean, he was able to just, you know, stab them in the back, essentially, and Marsborne were just even scrambling more to what to do in this round, or the following round, I should say. So now we see once more, round number 18. Things they were looking pretty good, but Minus, I don't know how the hell he wins that fight. I thought the MP9 surely might have been able to find it, but takes him out with a big amount of damage. So they'll take this dual Paladin, but now, I mean, it's a question if they can kind of keep things moving on. Chop not able to find another duel. This guy cannot buy a frag.
And it's such an inopportune time. He would have loved to capitalize, at least go 1 for 1 there. But not to be. Wolfie decides to kind of fill that void that Chop left behind and try to re-clear B. And re-clearing the B lane at this point is super dangerous. You got troubles lurking around every corner. But they're splitting into this B bomb side very effectively. Steel is trying to sell a little bit of a something into this A side. He's kept 3 players on that side of the map. It's still only Junior here. He's got to put up another multi-kill, and his barrel has been spotted by his counterpart. What a shot there from Wolfie as a bomb will go down into the 3v3. It's another retake required for Nouns.
It definitely is. And again, I mean, they got the Mully and the flash available here, but how are they going to use this? Now that PC utility going to be gone. Rush seeing what he's going to be able to find. A kit is going to be picked up. So they do have time a little bit on their hands, but Autumn holding the tightest angle. I feel like this is not a forgiving one, and oh god, he's already made his presence known. Look at Pete. He's able to find one, able to find that second, and now Minus needs to do something massive here with the op. Just tucking his tail, hiding behind the corner, waiting as long as possible. Everybody fake defusing, and there it is. Marsborne are going to be able to run away with this round. What is going on?
Oh, they bungled that so bad, Nouns. I mean, you've got 2 different players trying to defuse the bomb. That doesn't make any sense. You've got a player already helping you. Watch that angle. They know he's stuck in that cubby. They know it. He can't be anywhere else. And still they give him a window to swing out. Why does the diffuser ever get off the bomb in that situation? I couldn't tell you, Laz. Marsborne, by the skin of their teeth, are showcasing the grit and tenacity that makes this team so exciting.
That's why we say, you know what, kids, you know, when you're playing your games, you're playing your pugs, it doesn't matter the scoreline. You got to make sure that every round counts. Again, it was a 10-2. It was a 10-2, and look at the scoreline we're at now. And now you can see Nouns a little bit pissed off, a little bit angry. They're just going to swing at a cave. They're going to be able to find that first duel. Chop just can't seem to find any, again, duels in his favor, unfortunately. Now, back to an even Stevens here with a 4-4. CJ in a decent position with a 5-7. Can't be able to find it. Minus will be able to get that double bite, and now Cryptic will just have to save the AK. So it was looking like Nouns, maybe we're going to be able to find something in this round 19, maybe be able to be a little bit more tenacious, but unfortunately, they get tamed down.
And that's where Wolfie calls for a faster play. He tries to up the tempo a little bit more, and he's just been really shadow boxing against Cryptic very well. Even in that round where, you know, Junior has the double kill and they eventually win out their first CT round on that A site, I still think that call was stellar. I've not really had any issues with the way Wolfie's been seeing the game. And Cryptic's really got his work cut out for him. He's been doing well individually, but at this point, the name of the game for him is just trying to get all his ducks in a row and make sure that the players are playing around this defense as smartly as possible. And it's just not coming to be, man. I mean, just these clutch situations really looking shaky and janky. I'm going to take another tack timeout, get a Trent on the mic, have that veteran presence to kind of calm their nerves down a little bit. It's always something that he's been very good at, is to be a little bit more easygoing and make players feel comfortable in the server, regardless of scoreline.
Yeah, no doubt at all. I mean, Adren is definitely someone that's well experienced and massive resume, so we don't even need to talk about it. But yeah, hopefully he's going to be able to give some sweet words here for the timeout to see what they can do to motivate these guys getting across that finish line. 2 rounds needed, and that's it here for that first best of 1. But Marsborne are definitely putting the money where the mouth is a little bit here. I never would have thought we'd be in this kind of a scoreline where, I mean, there's a world where we could be seeing a tie game depending on, you know, how fast Marsborne could be able to pick these rounds up. And that's all a matter of here to see how round number 9 or round number 20 works out. Marsborne looking like they want to commit for the B hit potentially. Already having the nades getting thrown here. That's going to be on to Wolfie. Having that utility buckled, ready to go. Now it's going to go for the big swing. They're trying everything through this smoke. But the first engagement is going to benefit here for the T side. DJ doing a ton of tenderizing. He's only able to find this 1 kill. Now at least he can keep his life intact. Now we're starting to see T's pushing a little bit back now, but Marsborne finally just unleashing the utility, the reign of terror. They're going to get themselves in this site, but Junior causing more disruption once again. The plant's going to get denied, and dear God, more spam kills somehow, some way, and Nouns finally put themselves on that point.
That is so brutal for Marsborne. They had such a good call there. They smoked the front of Jag straight out of spawn, and they know that there's a gap in that smoke. They know that there's going to be shelf aggression. They punish that. They reroute back to the B bomb site through elbow, and they get the site as well. Every spam going in the CT's favor. If that bomb goes down, who knows what happens for Marsborne? Surely at that point they've got a shot at converting and pulling that game a little bit closer, but just so happened for there to be a little bit more of a lucky break for Nouns. The spam's just right for them, and they've got the most ripe, opportune time here to close out this map, put all of this comeback nonsense to bed with 3 Tech 9s or 2 Tech 9s at an SMG on the other end of the server.
At least they can finally get themselves out of B main door, right? I mean, they're going to be able to get a little bit more control out of this, but triple player into B, leaving that A site pretty much just in the hands of Peeping. He's going to play all the way back in CT spawn. So Nouns are playing a bit more of a passive setup here through mid and towards A. Now they've just abandoned this A site, leaving for Junior to be in Donut. So again, he's still got his presence known here, but again, that bomb's still leaning on this B side. 58 seconds remaining. Nobody's been dropped. Nobody's been taken down to the grave yet. I feel like that's a world record here for this game alone. I feel like everybody's been just getting eradicated within seconds. Now Junior, 3 bullets left in the chamber. Only gonna have enough for 1 kill. These AKs are finally connecting on the heads. They're gonna get themselves in this A site. 4 on 3 now for Marsborne. Can they be able to lock this down? Steel running and gunning a little bit here with the MAC-10. Russian CJ, a tough task in hand. They got the kits. They have 1 PC utility available. They gotta save this damn thing.
There is just no route in, especially after you've lost Red Room, but I mean, there's really no safety to try and get out. Finally, Chop gives him a little bit way back in. People will be there to take 1 gun away, and Steel will find out the second. CJ stuck in spawn, and MOTM will try to take him out here, but will fail to do so. So 3 rounds now between overtime and a map win for Nouns. Again, this time it's Modem to open things up on that A site. And again, man, these reads have just been so good from Wolfie. He's finding the site with less players. He's pushing some of these individuals to try and get multi-kills, and in some situations, the rounds that he's lost, it's just he can't do anything about it. It just happens to kind of fall out of favor, but he's really keeping them in this right now.
I mean, you almost love to see it too for someone like Modem, right? I mean, the fact that, like I said, he's been kind of inactive for a little while and finally gets himself on a team, and I've been waiting for it for a long time. Always remember back in the ATK days, and him just sitting at a 24 and 15, just putting so much influence into the server. CJ still being able to show his influence, getting that first engagement. Oh my god, even Minus taking so much damage. And they're just trying to shoot through smokes. They're trying to shoot through everything. It's just spam galore right now. And now Marsborne, they're actually going to have to kind of backpedal this a little bit on B main. Give this up. And Nouns have done such a good job to put up a force field.
They cannot lose this round, Nouns. This is a 5v4. This is mid-control established. They've cleared out front Jag as well. They've got a double set up there. And they're playing a little bit more of a retake setup on this A side, and it's totally fine. CJ can take a little bit of that first contact. I mean, he doesn't even necessarily have to. He can just play for the retake, play that man advantage, the trade game. And eventually, Peeping has realized, we've cleared out Red Room. We've got that front lane control, and we've not heard anything. It's got to be this A site. There's nowhere else that Marsborne could be on the map right now. And now they lean 4 players strong to this end. Cryptic slightly leaning that way as well. No. Here comes that utility. What can Marsborne do to kind of break through? Nothing, it seems. Junior finds himself 1, rushes at the back of the site, and he'll find 1 more. Peeping there to chime in, and now it's the captain. It's Wolfie in the 1v2, but his back is turned. Cryptic finds him. It's a grueling one, but at the end of the day, Nouns will come out on top at 13-9 with 94 ADR from Junior.
Yeah, not a bad game at all for Junior. I mean, he was the one that was sitting at a 14-8 at one point in the first half, so the fact that we're still seeing him putting up, 21 and 17,